How's it going, 12? So I'm just finishing off this prep question for your Trig portfolio. So the initial thing was just saying prove that this is equal to that. So all I've done is I've just broken it down left-hand side, right-hand side. So what I want you guys to do is listen to how I explain it. And that will be the terminology that you need to use and write as you solve these things tomorrow. Okay, so the first thing that I did, broke it down. It's an identity, so I broke it down left-hand side, right-hand side. Now I am going to choose the side to work with. Okay, yes, I can change the right-hand side to sine over cos, but then I'm introducing a double angle and I'll get sine 2x over cos 2x, and things start getting a little bit tricky there, because then we need to expand our double angles. So I'm going to leave the right-hand side and I'm going to manipulate the left-hand side to make it look like the right-hand side. So when we are adding and subtracting fractions, what do? We find an LCD. So our LCD in this case would be cos x minus sine x multiplied by cos x plus sine x. So that's what I'm going to do. Just get my LCD and I multiply this fraction by that one, multiply this fraction by this denominator. Okay, so over here we will get cos x plus sine x multiplied by cos x plus sine x. Minus, now with this fraction I need to multiply it with that denominator there, so we'll get cos x minus sine x multiplied by cos x minus sine x. And this is all over the LCD. And our LCD in this case is this one multiplied with this one here. This denominator multiplied with this denominator. So we get cos x minus sine x multiplied by cos x plus sine x. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, because I have a binomial with a binomial, we are going to FOIL. Likewise over here, binomial with a binomial, so we're going to FOIL. And again in the denominator, binomial with a binomial, so we're going to FOIL. Now, grade 12s, I'm just going to miss some steps, but I'll explain it as I go along. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is just FOIL it. So the first will give us cos squared x. The outers will give us cos x sine x. The inners will give us cos x sine x, and it's plus. So we'll get plus 2 cos x sine x. The lasts, sine x times sine x, will give us plus sine squared x. Okay. Likewise, I'm going to FOIL these two binomials together, but I'm also going to multiply the negative in. I'm going to distribute that negative in. So if we do the firsts, we get cos squared, but multiplied by the negative, we will get minus cos squared x. Then the outers will give us minus cos x sine x. The inners will give us minus cos x sine x. So that gives us minus 2 cos x sine x. Multiplied by the negative will give us plus 2 cos x sine x. Then if we do the lasts, minus sine x times minus sine x gives us positive sine squared x. Multiplied with this negative will give us minus sine squared x. All over. Okay, another binomial with binomial. So firsts will give us cos squared x. Outers will give us plus cos x sine x. Inners will give us minus cos x sine x. So they cancel. Then your lasts will give you minus sine squared x. Right, so in the numerator now, all I look for is like terms. So we've got this cos squared x minus cos squared x. So they cancel. We've got sine squared x minus sine squared x, they cancel. And I like terms here are these two here. We've got plus 2 cos x sin x plus 2 cos x sin x. So that will give us 4 cos x sin x. But I'm just going to write it as this, 4 sin x cos x. And you'll see in a minute why I've done it like that. Cos x sin x is the same as sin x cos x, guys. All right. All over this cos squared x minus sine squared x. Okay. Now just remember what we're trying to do here. We are trying to get to our right-hand side. So the only way I can get this tan 2x is if I do it, and I'm just going to write it over here, is if I get a sine 2x over a cos 2x. Just remember that tan is sine over cos. Okay, I'm not worried about this 2. That 2 will come out when we do it over here. Just that tan. So what I'm looking for is a sine double angle at the top and a cos double angle in the denominator. If I look in the denominator here, cos squared x minus sine squared x is a cos double angle. So at the bottom here, I can say straight away cos 2x. Okay, just look on your formula sheet. That's one of the expansions for your cos double angle. Now at the top, I just have to do a little bit of manipulation so I can get a sine double angle at the top. So with my sine double angle, I know it's going to be 2 sin x cos x. So what I can say is I can say that this is 2 times 2 sin x cos x. Okay, that is my sine double angle. So what we get here is we get 2 sine 2x over cos 2x. Now, sine 2x over cos 2x is our tan 2x. So this is equal to 2 tan 2x, which is equal to our right-hand side. And we have proved it. All right. Thanks, guys.